What's up, breakthrough makers? Today we're going to share some great examples of some breakthrough that happens from various business owners in different industries. Now, the thing I want you to look out for is what were their emotions, what were their beliefs, and what were the actions that they took from there. And at the end, I'm going to be asking you, what are your emotions, what are your beliefs, and what actions are you going to take going forward? And let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, here's the videos.
I am so excited to tell my quick story about a breakthrough that has increased my love for my medical practice. At a party about 7 to 8 years ago, I heard about DPC, Direct Primary Care. I was frustrated with not being able to keep up with my clinic notes or having enough time with my patients. A friend at a party started talking about DPC and I could not get enough. Emotions went wild. Meds for as cheap as a penny a piece. Labs for $18 instead of over $100. $50 a month for all the care a person could imagine. Then all I could do was think about how I would execute this idea in my clinic. I worked hard to change my beliefs. It took a few months, but I kept learning and thinking about how I would do it. After 2 years, I stuck my toe in the water and began to experiment with a few patients. I was worried about what the current patients would think if they could only see a nurse practitioner from then on. So many of my patients knew I was trying to get help for more people in healthcare. Then I went full out and have not looked back since. It has been an exciting road and has opened up many possibilities for the future as an entrepreneur.
Hi, my name is Christy. I'm from Virginia. Here's my breakthrough story. My husband and I were traveling to Mexico earlier this year. We had our passport cards. I had checked the back to make sure that Mexico was listed and thought we were good to go. 2 days before our trip, I was talking to the travel agent to make sure everything was straight with some other questions that I had. I happened to mention at the end of the call that I was having trouble uploading our passport cards to the airline website. She let me know that the passport cards are only good for land and sea, not air travel. So we needed to figure out how to get a passport book in 2 short days. Now, pre-COVID, you could go into the passport office and be a walk-in, get there early, wait, and they would give you one if you had documentation that you were traveling. Well, they don't do that anymore. You can only go by appointment, and they're very specific. Do not show up without an appointment. We will not let you in. So we started calling to try to get an appointment. We called for 5 hours. First, the only ones available were Seattle, Washington. We were like, you don't understand. That's not helpful to us. We can't make it there and back. So we just kept calling. We got an appointment in Buffalo, which eventually was canceled because there was a snowstorm coming to Buffalo. Kept calling, hoping to get an appointment in DC, which is fairly close to us, and we knew we could make that happen. Eventually, I called and they said there's an appointment in Buffalo. And I was like, no, Buffalo's closed, but thank you. You know, you might want to check your records. My husband calls at the same time. We're both calling. He calls and they say, we have an appointment in Buffalo. He's like, okay, I'll take it. Perfect. We can make it happen. So come to find out, they had reopened the office in Buffalo. So we jump in his Jeep Gladiator to drive to Buffalo to get our passports. We are driving through a blizzard. At one point, we're behind 2 plows going about 20 miles an hour because it's snowing so hard. We do end up making it by 2 a.m., get up the next morning, get to the passport office. It really looks like they're closed, that all the lights are off. I was not convinced that they were going to be open, but I saw somebody walking in there. So I was like, oh, I think they're open. So we ended up going in. We got our pictures. We're like, oh, we're going to be early. We're going to get back in great time. Then we found out that there's a 4-hour wait to come back and pick them up that afternoon. We made the best of it. I have a friend that I haven't seen in years that lives in Buffalo, so I gave her a call. We went to visit with her while we were waiting for our passports. Then we jumped back in the car, drove back to Virginia, ended up making it to our trip to Mexico. On the way back, I'm sitting there with my husband, and I'm like, we did this. We pulled this off. If we can get a passport in 2 days, we can do anything. So what are we doing with their business? What are we doing with their lives? Let's figure this out. So at that moment, we decided to take massive action, sign up for courses, do whatever it takes to get to the next level in our lives. And that's our breakthrough. What will your breakthrough be?
Right, about 5 years ago, before I started my entrepreneurial journey, I just left the hospitality industry and I thought I was done. I do not want anything else to do with this. Now, quite simply, I was moving from one city to another within the UK and I didn't even know what kind of industry or what kind of job I would get next, having been in, should we say, the working life previous to that. Now, at the time, my emotions were, I'm not going to go back, but I didn't even know where I wanted to go. So quite simply, I was open. I was open to new ideas. And what did I do? I went and spent a week with my sister and her husband, and I just wanted to give him a hand in his business. He asked for help because he just started up and I wanted to see. And at that time, my beliefs were that I was going to get back to a job, but you know what? I knew I wasn't going to go back to another one, but I was open to experiencing new ideas, and perhaps this industry that, should we say, my sister's husband was in, perhaps maybe I could do that industry as well. Well, you know what? When I went in and I spent time with him and saw what he was doing, and this is in procurement, I started to understand how he was doing it and what was going on. I was open with that emotion. My beliefs were that I was considering something new and I was going to make a change in my life. And having seen what he did, I actually thought, you know what? I can do this as well. But I wanted to test it. So what happened? Well, quite simply, my actions were, well, if he can do it, so can I. First things first, I need to make one action to see if I can test if this will work. So I went away from that week with him, and I only spent 4 days really doing the business, and I tested to see if I could start that business. And you know what? I started to get some traction, and from there, I built my first business, which I'm super happy about, and started my whole entrepreneurial journey. But that's me and my story and the breakthrough that I had by being open with my emotions or my beliefs, having an emotion that I'm making a change and I'm really looking for that, and then also taking one action to prove whether that would work or not.
One of my biggest breakthroughs would have been at a previous conference, would have been in 2018. I just had left the oil patch, just quit my career, and was at a Grant Cardone conference, and I saw all these people making all this money and living these freer lives than I used to, as in, because I lived in camp for so many years, and I was just like, fucking right. Like, excuse my language, I'm not supposed to swear, but I just said to myself, wow, like, I can do so much more with my life than what I've been doing, and this is what an aha moment, and seeing everybody, and I was just in total amazement and shock, you know, and joy, uncertainty. I had all kinds of crazy emotions going on, and since then, it's 4 years later, I'm at a Tony Robbins conference, and life has been a massive change in my life to get where I'm at. But that was my biggest aha moment, was 2018. Thanks, guys.
Hi, my name is Lynn. I'm from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. In 2019, I moved my family from Montreal to the Cayman Island. My life was a paradise for the first 6 months until I encountered a very powerful man who used his power and authority to rule over me. Coming from a peaceful place where women get a lot of respect for, I was shocked. So I seek out for law enforcement, lawyer, and I couldn't find the help that I was looking for. So I reached out to many supporting women organization, and I found out that it was all fake or for self-promotion purpose only. So I moved back to Canada to start over. My mind was very still in shock, and I went through a spiritual awakening journey. It changed my perspective mind. I understood that there is no right or wrong, is what I have learned from it. Today, I got back into my IT consultant business, and I am developing an app to help people to expand their consciousness, promote self-love, and find authentic love. The gift from this catalyst has led me to find my purpose, to serve, and how to give back to the world. Thank you.
Right, that's it. That's all the videos. Let me know what your emotions, what your beliefs, and what your actions are going to be in the comments down below. Remember, hit the like button as well. Thank you.